Some of you already probably noticed that I am a little darker, right? This morning I spent 2 weeks home in vacation with my family in Colombia. So we were having between 90 and 95 degrees every day and night. So it was a wonderful experience, and I'm very happy to be back into the parish life as well. And believe it or not, I miss you see, in these few days. But I was very happy eating my mom's cooking also as well. This Sunday, the gospel is known as the rich young man's gospel. This young man has a strong desire to serve God. He runs to Jesus and prostrates himself before him. And he asks Jesus the question, "What do I have to do to serve you?" There is a great paradox in that encounter with Jesus. In Jesus' response, this young man opened his eyes before the gaze of Jesus, and he realized something, that his desire to serve God is not as authentic as it seems. His soul is laid bare, his reality is palpable. Now, the gospel raises something special. The problem is not a problem with the wealth of the young man. The problem arises with the existence of attachments in our hearts. Attachments that prevents us from following Jesus Christ, that prevents us from acting with full freedom, attachment to material things, emotional attachments, or certain attachment to our ideals. These attachments establish a great distance between our ideals faced from faith and the reality of life. Therefore, it is important to discover those different attachments of the heart that always condition our responses, and we must purify them so we can respond with freedom and generously, especially in our efforts to follow Christ and serve his church. Certainly, in our response to serve God and his people in the past year and a half, the COVID-19 pandemic presented some challenges in our families, at work, and at the parish level. The past and several times not only made us reflect and value many important and fundamental things in our lives, but also allowed us to open our hearts and minds more to look for ways to continue to have some type of normal life. This is how many of our parishioners continue to participate actively or spiritually in many of the parish celebrations in person, online, and financially. And for that great generosity and dedication, today I want to thank you. And as your pastor, I can tell you that I'm very proud of all of you. I could see in many of you a heart with a desire to serve. I could see how many of you prostrate at the feet of the Lord in asking for ways to continue serving as the young man in today's gospel. From the smaller altar boy to the oldest committed perpetual adorer here at St. Catherine's. In the same way, the Knights of Columbus did not stop the outreach programs, nor did members of the Camillus ministry stop bringing communion to the sick. The catechesis, prayer, and biblical groups continue to pray and gather, connected either by phone or through Zoom. And the school, thank God, resumed in-person classes, which was a great help and relief for families where both parents must work. The great thing was that the limitations presented by the pandemic did not prevent us from continuing worshiping God, celebrating our faith, and fulfill our evangelization mission. The whole sacramental life continued to be celebrated in our parish. We did have between 10 and 15 baptisms every month. We did have 180 first communions, 275 confirmations, 12 marriages, funerals, and the masses in nursing homes and assisted facility centers have been resumed for the past 3 months. And even I learned to celebrate the Latin Mass. A great witness to your generosity was wonderful because of the response last year when we first started this offertory program. Your love and fidelity to our parish of St. Catherine's was clearly reflected in the fiscal report that was delivered to you last weekend in the bulletin and through the flock note. If you haven't seen it, please go back and look at it. As you could see in that report, thanks to your response and the good management and conservative efforts of the staff, we were able to have a little surplus in the offertory, unlike any other parish around. Because of it, we were able to fix the parking lot, and I hope no more headaches about that, at least for the couple of years. We fixed and repaint the gym and add some acoustic panels so we can have more groups meetings and some talks more properly. So thank you for that. So today we're formally beginning our For God's Great Glory offertory program again this year. The goal of this program is very simple: to grow our parish and fulfill our mission. We will also look to the future to see what more we will do if we can see a significant increase in our offertory, so we can continue upgrading and maintaining properly our grounds with unexpected things happen. So this week you will receive in your mail a brochure of God's Great Glory campaign with a commitment card. Next weekend, we will have those cards in our pews, and we'll have a lay person, a volunteer in our parish that also will give us his testimony of how your generosity and the efforts of many of our parishioners help the ministries in our parish to continue happening. So I ask you to prayerfully consider. Prayerfully consider. Remember, this is not a commitment like the BA we do, but this is a program in which you would let us know ahead of time that you will continue being faithfully committed to it, so we can plan for more things that we need to fix or repair or maintain more properly. You know that we have not been back in full like we normally did before COVID. Some of our parishioners here have some health issues that do not allow them to be here present. Perhaps this winter also with the variant, more people is still also being afraid of something. So we will not expect to have the full crowd, even though I'm praying for it, and I know you are praying for it, a full participation like before. So we count with all of you, those who are here and those who are watching us through our live stream, to continue doing our mission here. Because I do believe, and not only because I am a proud pastor, because I know and I have seen the sacrifices you all make constantly, and especially for the things, the people, and the ministries that you loved. So I will encourage you to please increase somehow the offertory for the next year, and we'll see what more wonderful things we can do together in this regard to fulfill the mission of evangelization, but also to continue providing care for our beautiful church and community. for the things that the Lord has entrusted to us, to continue to nourish the minds and the hearts of all of you, and providing all the sacraments that we know they strengthen our spiritual life. As we continue our Mass and our celebration, always keep in mind that the Lord is always looking into our minds and He knows what we have in our hearts. And I will not be surprised that when the Lord will look our minds and our hearts, He will find not only joyful people, but also always generous people.